this was a long time coming. We actually needed that. And I felt like after like the big bombastic finale that we had with like cleaning up everything, after like everyone like Ikoma, Mumei and the group escaped from that giant CGI monster that we got last week, I think it was high time, you know, let's have a little settle down after this long. Let's, you know, like, have some character development, and I'm so glad that that finally happened in this episode of Kabaneri of the Iron Forge. So Ikoma and the group managed to arrive at the next station, and they're like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank the Lord. We are here. We are not going to die. Like, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm like, you know, like, I was a little bit, you know, you guys, just a forewarning, it's like, why are you guys, like, all hanging out on the train at first? I mean, I guess it must be a safe zone, but it's like, well, we've just learned that, like, the Kabaneri can come out of nowhere, and those are fast-ass motherfuckers. I don't care, unless I'm in that station, I'm keeping my head in that fucking train. I ain't doing that. And the majority of the episode is like, hey, we need to stock up, we need to go get everything like back together. Ikoma, you've got to sort out everything that we need to get the materials for the jet bullets, we need to go sort that. The girls, you know, they're going to go and get the food, they're going to get the clothing, the stuff that we need. And meanwhile, we're going to have that, we're going to have like our leader negotiating that we need some food, which ended up like, I like that like in each part of this like episode, everyone had like a moment like in the series where I was like, you know, they had kind of like an actual like moment, a little bit of like character development and actually kind of get a little bit more used to the character. Like I love that with Ikoma and Mumei, like at first when they were just traveling around, and then there was his fucking friend, he was there like pulling the Gintoki in the robe like that, he's like, well, you're practically naked all the time when you're fighting and all that, and he's like, he's just like rubbing his chin like, hey. It's like, you filthy motherfucker. Like, you know what he was thinking exactly right there. It's like, you even had like all of that, like you had Ayane, like she was there negotiating for the food, and then she ended up, since they wouldn't answer, like she had a little cute moment where she was actually like digging into like all the food because she was greedy and she was super hungry. And like the fucking katana dude just like closes it up. It's like, nope, didn't see nothing like that. And like, even when you got that, like you had like, oh, by the way, how are we gonna get their attention? Gonna fire a fucking gunshot on the air and like, hey guys, you know, like we got these jet bullets that can deal with the Kabaneri. You wanna try it? Bang! And then when Ikoma was like trying to like, hey, I need these fuses and stuff to my jet stuff, and there was like some bushy asshole like there, he's like, yeah, I need you to look at my gun. It's like, yo, we were here first, dude. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. And then he just ended up wiping his ass all over the floor like that bitch deserved from the start. I was like, yo, I'm in line first. I don't care if you're some noble or some piece of shit and all that. We're here to get supplies. And it's like, he was pushing all this stuff down. And it's just like how Koba just handed his ass. It's like, you try and pull your sword out. It's like, you pussy shit and all that. Like, cause like, even with like the Kabaneri, we found out it's like they can copy moves and stuff. So it's like, he was even copying like the samurai's like techniques and stuff. It's like, yeah, like, and like, even with that, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna copy it. I don't give a fuck. Even that move that he did to beat me, it's like, I'm just gonna, he's like, no, you should find your own style. I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck. I'm copying that shit, that's good. And like kind of like the whole train, like everyone there needed like some like kind of like a little bit to like a little pick me up for after everything that happened. So they're gonna have like that special little Japanese thing where you put, you know, you put your little wishes and all that on the tree and all on the bamboo shoots and all that, like a tapatana, I believe, like that. I forget the actual name for it, but it's like, you know, it's a little thing that they do over there, and like you guys see like, oh, everyone's all down for it. Unfortunately though, like you kind of, Mumei remembers like kind of the time that she did that with her mom, and Ikoma ended up going around saying like trying to cheer her up throughout the entirety of this, which, you know, it was nice. Like I like, you definitely get to see like throughout like the entirety of this episode, it was like Mumei acts like for a while she was actually like acting like a girl, like a woman for a while, which I'm sure she doesn't actually have that too often. Like she's there like in a dress and she's loving it and she's enjoying time and like just spending time with like children. Like she generally was loving that side of it, but then it's like, you gotta remember that she, you know, she's just used to blood, battle, kind of being on her own. And like, even when she was like saying it to her, like it's like, you know, like, hey, Hotsumi will be able to see the Milky Way tonight, and it's like, wait, Hotsumi? Like, it's like, yeah, that's my real name. My brother actually took away my actual name. It's like, instead of now I'm Mumei. It was weird because it was like, you know, she had this moment with like Ikoma that she was like, she's showing that she's really opening up to the group, and she's actually showing that, you know, like she's not as cold-hearted as she originally was at the start of the series, but even still she's got that concern. It's like, yeah, one of these days I might turn into a Kabaneri, and it's just like my mind just might be gone and I'll just be eating. And although she's trying to act all cute about it, like, you know, I'm gonna like eat everyone and all that, like I'll be bitten in the morning going grrr like that, like, you know, there's like, it's a cute moment in a way, but then as well, it's kind of very sad when she's just trying to do that, because you can definitely tell, like, she doesn't want to hurt people, and like, even with Ikoma, he was kind of stepping in and saying, you should be human again. I'm gonna make you human again. I'm gonna kill all the, like, you know, the Kabaneri, like, you know, I'm gonna take care of that. I'm gonna have, like, the rice hills, because, like, I believe, like, her name actually means, like, eating tons of rice, or, like, something of rice, like, whereas, like, you know, we're gonna have the, like, the rice paddles back, we're gonna have that, and it was, like, that's an actual interesting thing that kind of mentions where it's, like, no wonder that the food is very low around, like, where they're dealing with, because all the rice paddles that they had are just gone because the Kabaneri are all over it, and it's like, well, we can't have this by, like, having the patties are just, like, all taken over. And when they had the event, they were like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking take it all, I'm gonna turn her human, I'm gonna do all this shit, and, like, all this stuff that was nice. And I gotta say, the most beautiful fucking looking scene, apart from, like, Ikoma and her, like, sitting down, it was, like, a beautiful autumn kind of that, like, real nice art to it, was probably the fireworks when the ending started playing. Like I love that the full version of the ending was playing, because I've been listening to it a lot of, like, Kabaneri music, because I fucking love Kabaneri's, like, soundtrack so much. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Like, it was really great for him out listening. And, like, even when you see, like, most, like, what we see from most anime, they're like, oh, have one, like, firework go on, and then we'll just have a look at every character staring at the flashing lights. We had a bit of that in Kabaneri, but it's like, you got to see a ton of the fireworks, you got to see a ton of the stuff. It was like, it was beautiful. It was genuine, like beautiful animation. And they really know what to do in this show. Like I genuinely love the animation and the art in this series. I think it's really nice. Brings a lot, even, like, regardless of what, there's a lot of color into it, like, which I like. Even though it's like a dark, grim, metallic, you know, steampunk era, there's still a lot of pretty, like, colors around there, and that's what I like about it. And just, like, how Ikoma managed to get everyone saying, like, oh yeah, their wish is just to live and survive through this, and then everyone ending up, oh no, I want my own train, oh, I want to, you know, I want 3 wives, I want, like, you know, oh, I want to be a teacher, you know, everyone had their own little moment, and, like, ending the episode by, like, we meet the Slayers, which are yeah, I can kind of see that's the recon group there, mix in with the military, where they go out there and kill the Kabaneri, and I'm like, oh, you meet the brother, who, strangely enough, like, the brother, like, that, like, looks a lot like fucking Ash from Tales of the Abyss. I'm not gonna lie, he looks a very awful lot like that character. I was like, oh wow, okay, like, that's Ash the Bloody from Tales of the Abyss. I just wasn't expecting that at all, so I was like, like, although he's a little bit more pink and he's a little bit more Bishoujo, but from what we heard of him is, like, you know, this guy who's, like, you know, like, forced, like, moving to give up a name, and, like, he seems nice, so he comes, like, there's some shit going on with here, so it's like, yeah, we'll have to see about that. So it's going to be interesting to see, like, now, like, for the next part of the show, that we're probably going to be dealing with, like, some corrupted shit with these guys, and then also as well with the Kabaneri. Like, I'm very curious, like, I think, like, the series has been listed for, like, 12 episodes, but obviously, as we can tell, like, the show doesn't seem like anywhere near, like, it's near to some sort of conclusion, so I'm putting my fucking chips on the line here and saying that I'm absolutely guessing that what's going to be happening in this show is that we're probably going to have a 3 to 6 month break. Sounds like it makes sense that we're going to be having that throughout, like, the series, like, that's what they're going to be doing. It's just, also, I gotta say, like, I know it's, like, something I don't really mention, but I love whoever's doing the art for this series, especially for the ending, where they always have, like, these little sketches of all the characters, like, goofing around, or have, like, this really, like, sick picture of the swordsman guy, or, like, you know, Mumei there. Like, I genuinely love that. Like, they have these really beautiful art-looking moments in there, and it just clearly just goes to show that's what happens when you have fucking talent on your show. Like, and it's not just him, it's just a bunch of other players. Like, I genuinely, like, whenever the ending plays, I love that song so much, and I love the art. Like, especially, I know, like, a lot of people know that one of Mumei there with the blue ribbon. Like, it looks beautiful. It's just, it's a work of art. That's all it is. It's fucking fantastic. Like, it's one of the best things of, like, Kabaneri. It's like, I absolutely adore its art, like, its animation, its soundtrack, like, everything about this show. And, like, I knew, like, I was thinking, okay, we do need a settle down episode just to, like, kind of give some characters a little bit of, like, you know, development, give some time, like, for a breather, which is good. Like, the show's, like, I know a lot of people probably won't find this episode, like, super exciting and amazing, but it was, trust me, in shows like this, you do need, like, a break episode from, like, everything. It's, like, most shows do that by, like, oh, we're gonna have a recap, or we're gonna have, like, this instead. Kabaneri just decided, no, we're going to have a fucking sit down, we're going to get things that people need, and we're going to find a little bit more about these characters and have, like, a little moment to them. I will say, like, I'll probably say that it's, like, it's probably, like, I guess the most people, it's probably going to be the weakest. I think it stands up on its own. I think it's an actual fine episode and it's must-need, and I generally enjoy it. And I had fun with, like, looking at the characters. So overall, I would give this episode just a flat-out 8. I generally thought it was a great episode, and I'm looking forward to every week. Like, every week, like I said, there's 2 shows I look forward to every week, and people know that, and that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and that's that on my reviewing schedule. They know both that, JoJo Diamond and Unbreakable, and Kabaneri are the shows that I'm loving right now, and I think are the best shows out this season. But that's all from me. Once they let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you enjoy Kabaneri as much as I do? But you remember, you like Kabaneri as much as I do, then you know what it's like, you know, subscribe. But that's all from me. So thank you much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.